He has taken first part in our lives, and I'm just grateful for my upbringing. I am the owner and the director of Abundant Love Christian Daycare, so I'm just going to share a little bit about my story and my vision and my business and my purpose and everything with my business. Abundant Love Christian Daycare, and it is what the name says, Abundant Love Christian Daycare. I do believe in having the abundance of love, and that I believe that if you have a heart and a passion and a love for what you do, you're going to do it at its best. The vision of Abundant Love Christian Daycare was birthed in 2008. I wrote this vision down. I prayed on it. In 2009, April, this vision came to pass. I am currently a 5-star licensed daycare center, licensed in the state of North Carolina. It's a small center. We have 40 children. Some might say that's not small. And compared to some other facilities, it is a small center. I serve ages from 6 weeks up to 5-year-olds. It's a very hard task when you are a huge advocate for quality child care, when you see so much on the news and different things you read about, so many things that happen in daycare. How do you make sure that your name stays on the good part of the map? A lot of times I meet families and new parents, and they're afraid to put their children in daycare because of all the horror stories they have heard about quality daycare. So I have to make sure, first, that I build a good team that will support my vision as well. I'm a wife as well. I've been married 15 years. I'm a mother of 5. I have three grown stepchildren, but I have 2 biological daughters. Lena, which is 12, which is a leader in making. I'm very proud of my middle school daughter. And then I have a 4-year-old who thinks she leads the whole household, Lola. So I have 2 biological daughters, Lena and Lola, who I am just an advocate as a woman to instill so many values in them and make that whatever that leader is in them. They may not be as outspoken as Mom. I'm very outspoken. I'm an ordained minister and elder as well and everything, but whatever it is, to see what gift they have and help mold that gift in my young girls as well. But being the owner of a business, I make sure first and foremost that I build a good team, that I have women that are working with me, not under me necessarily, but with me in this business, that we're promoting and building a quality child care program. I'm very passionate about child care, very, very passionate about child care. I'm very passionate about the lives that we touch. I've just been blessed, as I was saying, just blessed with just being surrounded by family. My grandmothers, both my grandmothers, not too long past, a couple years ago, but they played such an instrumental part in my life. My grandmother Ruby and my grandmother Lena, which I named my first daughter after my grandmother Lena. Just being that example of how to sew, how to make clothes, how to cook cook meals and all that. So I've just been blessed with family. So my program, I wanted to have that family touch to it. I wanted to, when you come into my facility, you see the Spirit of God. You feel the love. That the teachers show the joy that they have with working in child care. I believe that my building is a place of haven and a place of peace and love and safety and security for the children that we serve. On the outside of my door, when you come in, before you come in, it says, may your feet be blessed as you enter into my doors. So whether it's a new family coming in, or whether it's my state licensing consultant, or whether it's a health inspector, or whoever else that we have to come and make sure that we stay in compliance, that I say to them, may your feet be blessed as you come into my doors. I'm a huge advocate that we are a Christian facility, so I always let parents know your children are going to learn the Lord's Prayer. They're going to learn how to bless their food. When they come in to my facility, I usually have worship music playing just to set the tone throughout the day. I also mentor my teachers as well, and making sure that, that we know that whatever we might be going on outside of the workplace, know how to pray about it. Know how not to bring that into the workplace, because we have an assignment and a job to do with the children as well. Child care industry is truly my heart, my passion. I have one location, but my vision is to have a second location as well. And I believe that with the help of course, the prayers and the help of many, that those visions will come to pass as well. I do believe that as a child care educator, that my role is to educate and to nurture future doctors and leaders and good parents and servants and good friends and pastors and all of these things that children have the opportunity to be. I think that it's important that within my program that I instill understanding friendship and understanding diversity and understanding how to problem solve and self-help skills. So a lot of times when people think of daycare, they think of babysitters, you know, and everything. And I tell people that we're not glorified babysitters. We are early childhood educators. So it's important that when children come into my program, they get the social skills that's needed. They get the cognitive development that's needed, the physical development, those things that are needed to help them, you know, succeed. And my hats go off, and I appreciate the elementary school teachers, and I appreciate the middle school teachers, I appreciate the high school teachers and the college teachers and professors, but I'm a huge advocate, and I appreciate the preschool teachers and educators and everything, where we start off with the babies, where we start off with holding you and nurturing you and feeding you and singing to you and loving on you. And then when you get your toddlers, your 2-year-olds that are getting into everything that we're able to teach you and everything. And then when you get to our older ones, our 4- and 5-year-olds, we're preparing you for public school setting. And when you leave our hands and leave our care, we want to make sure that we have you on the right path as well, and that we've done our part to impart and instill in the lives of young children. I believe that child care will be my forever long mission. I believe that even if I'm not actually always owning, that I'm always consulting and mentoring and everything in this field. I do take some young women that are under my wings. I take them in and that might be interested in child care, and just kind of giving them some dynamics and wisdom in child care and quality child care. I'm just a huge advocate for youth as a whole. I'm also, not only do I work with the babies from 6 weeks on up to 5-year-olds, I work with a lot of young girls. I'm really big on making sure that young women know how valuable and important they are in the sight of God. I just started about a year ago a group called Purity Sessions, and the group is called I Am Not a Rock. And what I instill in them, I ask the girls the question, where do diamonds come from? And rubies and gold. And all of these things are hidden, and they're far deep down in the earth. And I tell them to be one of those jewels. Don't be just a rock. A rock you can go outside and find right in the driveway, in the parking lot. But be something different. And try to instill in these girls the sexual purity and waiting on God for your husband and these things. So I'm a huge advocate in just being an inspiration in the lives of young people as a whole, from preschool age to our middle school and high school girls, and just being an example of a godly woman. I'm 42 years old, and I've been saved since I was 16. And I'm just grateful that God has just been able to allow me to be an advocate for young women and just be an example. And I'm not perfect, but I love to be able to say, you know, if you follow the ways of God and get a relationship with God, then He would definitely keep you and have you on the right path. One of the things I did want to share is, in my program, I always do a detailed orientation with my parents. And this is one of the vows that I say to the parents when they're looking to enroll their child in my daycare. I say, I know that I have been called to be a leader, one who imparts and leads children to a brighter future. I am a firm believer that servanthood is a great attribute of the Christian character. I vow to serve the children and their families in my care with love, quality, and the greatest childhood experience through my leadership at Abundant Love Christian Daycare. I strive to provide a happy Christian environment and a center that meets state and local health requirements. I am dedicated to allowing children to grow physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, and spiritually in an atmosphere filled with the abundance of love. And going on our 7th year now, my daycare is full. Very seldom do we have spaces available, and I'm just grateful for the foundation that God has given me in the platform, my little piece in the puzzle, just to instill quality child care in the Triangle area. So my question would be to everyone here is, what is your role in the lives of young children? And then also, what are you doing to help mold and shape young children in the right path? And before I close, I will say that one of the things that as I'm getting up every morning, getting prepared for the day and getting the girls ready for school, I usually watch the news. I'm always watching the news, trying to stay up to date and what's going on. And a lot of times my young one is 4, she's in the room with me as we're getting ready and watching the news. And a lot of times, sometimes what's being said on the news is not good all the time. And so I always try to use it as an opportunity, because she asks a lot of questions, to be able to explain it to her on her level. If there's something about a crime, I'll tell her, how God wants us to love. That was a sad, thing that we saw on TV, but God wants us to love. So just being able to help families and people to be able to share and present and put it on a child's level where they can understand things as well and know how, God wants us to live every day in peace and love. Thank you.